Guys! So if you watched my last video, which was a Tumblr lesson, I was about to go see The Fault in Our Stars right after I filmed that, and I did. I went on, I guess, opening Friday. I know it came out in some places on Thursday as well, but I went on Friday and I was not prepared, but I went, and I wanted to tell you guys about it since some people wanted to know what I thought of the movie. I'm going to give you my thoughts. Let me preface this by saying I had not read the book, The Fault in Our Stars, more than once. I read it when it first came out. I read it that summer, and I have not read it since. I did like it a lot, but I have not reread it. My life has been too crazy to reread books lately. Also, I was kind of making Tony go see the movie with me, and he had not read the book either, so we decided to download the audiobook because we were going on like a long car ride, and so we listened to it. We downloaded it from audible.com and listened to it, so I got a refresher, and he got like the first listen through the audiobook, which was kind of good because one of the qualms I had about the book itself was the dialogue. The way that Hazel and Augustus talk to each other. When I read the dialogue from the book in my head, in my little head voice, it just sounded like teenagers couldn't really talk this way, and it sounded weird to me in my head, and it kind of took me out of the book a little bit when I was reading it to myself. But when I listened to the audiobook, it was like so different. The way that she voiced it was so good, and the way that she kind of played with words and how the lines could have been said in real life, I really felt like I was into it, and the dialogue was believable, and I really, really liked it. So I went into the movie with a fresh mind on the book and ready to go, I guess, in terms of that kind of stuff with comparisons and all that. First thoughts were, OMG, Shailene is great. I thought she was great. I thought Ansel was great. I loved the way that Shailene's voice fit with this character. Her speaking voice is kind of raspy. When she says the line, "Why are you staring at me?" she's like, "Why are you staring at me?" And it's just, I don't know, I just picture Hazel also speaking that way, so it really went together well. And Ansel was great too. It wasn't necessarily how I pictured Augustus when I read the book exactly, but like close enough. Isaac was so cute, so cute. Oh my god, I love Isaac so much. And the parents, like every character was good, and I liked that they really didn't cut that many people out. There aren't really that many characters in the book to begin with. It's not like a J.K. Rowling book where there's tons and tons of side stories and characters that you're following. I felt like the main people were pretty much in there and cast well. I did picture Van Houten a little bit differently. I was talking to Tony about this, and we kind of pictured him as a little bit older and a little bit fatter, like a little bit more like he had given up on life. Like they got the alcoholism thing down, like that was good, but I just figured he would be like pudgy, I don't know, and I pictured him bigger. And I also really wanted Levi to quit. Like they didn't have Levi quit in the movie, and I just was like, oh, I really want her to be like, goodbye, you suck, I quit, see you never. I thought the pacing of the movie was really good, and I also really liked the way that they included the texting to each other, and they included it as a graphic on screen, because I know when you're reading the book, you're reading the text messages between Hazel and Gus, and it's in there, and it makes sense because teenage relationships and all relationships in general rely so heavily on texting these days that I'm glad that they didn't cut that out, and I thought it was really cute the way that they did it. I made the mistake of not bringing tissues to the show. Why did I do that? I didn't even like think about bringing tissues. Like, really? Really, Sarah? I mean, I cried when I read the book, I cried when I listened to the audiobook, and now I'm seeing the film and I'm not gonna cry. I knew I was gonna cry. I wore waterproof mascara. Why did I not bring tissues? If you have not seen the film yet, bring tissues. I really think the one qualm that I had with the film was the character development of Augustus. I feel like they left out a lot of his complexity. I feel like probably a lot of people would agree with me on this, that he's not a perfect character, and that's kind of what makes him lovable in the book a little bit. It's not just that he's this perfect teenage boy that she falls in love with and is strong and handsome and all these things. He has other things about him. The fact that they cut out his ex-girlfriend that had also died of cancer, I feel like left out a lot of his character. The fact that he dealt with that for a year, and the fact that she would insult him on a regular basis about having one leg, and the fact that he stuck by her even though she was kind of emotionally and verbally abusive to him. Just Hazel thinking about what that meant in terms of the person that Gus was. I think that was an important part that they left out of his character. Also, when they go to Amsterdam and they leave out the scene where he's in his house and Hazel and her mother hear him kind of crying in the house and yelling at his mom saying, "This is my life, I want to do with my life what I want to do," and I feel like that was where you're thinking, oh, like his life is not perfect. Like he is not a perfect character. He has his own struggles that we're not really seeing that much of in the book. And I understand why they cut it out, because it might have been too much foreshadowing. It might have been too obvious what he was doing if you saw it in the movie as opposed to just reading it in the book. It was pretty obvious foreshadowing in the book too. And then he comes in the limo and he's like riding like up on top of the limo. Like it's just too perfect teenage boy. The grand gesture, the image of what he is to Hazel, like this perfect boy, was just a little bit too much in the film, and I feel like they didn't do his character the justice that it deserved in the film. But again, like I understand some of the choices that they made because it's different transposing it to screen. You guys should let me know in the comments below what you thought about the character development especially, and whether you think they did a good job with that stuff. So if you guys have not seen the Fault in Our Stars movie yet, or you're planning on seeing it again but you want to brush up on the book before you go, I definitely recommend going and downloading the audiobook the way I did. Audible.com has actually teamed up with me for this video, giving me a code for you guys so you can go and download a free audiobook. You can download The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, or you can download whatever you want. You just go to audible.com/Leviosa. They have hundreds of thousands of audiobooks that you can choose from, and you can download it onto tons of devices. We downloaded onto Tony's Android phone, but they have apps for Android, they have apps for iPhone, they have apps for your Kindle, and you can listen to it on the go wherever you want. There's really any book that you've been meaning to read but didn't have the time to read it. You get a free 30-day trial and a free download of that book if you go to audible.com/Leviosa. And I know a lot of YouTubers have these kinds of codes with Audible, but you should use mine because, you know, mine's best. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.